Salute, squad. Welcome to another episode of Fly High Productions with Mr. Follow Up. Uh, we had a gang of interesting things to go on in the FBG Duck case. I'm going to attempt to bring us up to speed. You see it on the board. It seems like the FBI is not done passing down those racketeering cases. Look like we got another RICO coming your way, Chicago. Faceworld gang. They next up. Like I say, I'm gonna attempt to bring us up to speed on this this story here. Says Faceworld gang fashions latest to be targeted in the FBI racketeering case in Chicago. Other small crews like Goonie Boss, Hobos, and O-Block have also been hit with similar charges in recent years. Now the FBI is going after a small Southside gang faction called Faceworld. Police suspected in a shooting that left 15 people wounded outside a funeral in 2020. Deontay Harper and Amonte McClure, reputed members of the Faceworld faction of the Gangster Disciples, were also indicted this month in the federal court on charges of participating in violent racketeering activity. Harper, 24, and McClure, 21, carried out attacks on rivals including the Wooga World, Disciples of David, and 900 gang factions, according to the December 5th indictment. Like other crews involved in the drill rap scene in Chicago, Faceworld sought to boost its status by using songs and videos on social media, the indictment says. Keyshawn Wardlow, 21, also was involved in the conspiracy, but isn't listed as a defendant according to the indictment. Wardlow is charged in a separate federal case with participating in the 2020 carjacking spree. In November, his lawyers signaled that Wardlow was thinking about changing his not plea guilty, according to the court records. The December 5th indictment states that Harper, McClure, Wardlow were involved in the fatal shooting of Paul Harris on May 13, 2021. Harris, 22, was sitting in his vehicle in the 8600 block of South Hollister Street around 5:55 when two people walked up and started firing, according to Chicago police. Now, I just want to make one statement about that last sentence I just read. It give a round about time, right? The roundabout time, if we were going to round the number, would probably be to 6 o'clock, wouldn't you think? At 5:55, we gonna keep a lookout for those numbers and see if they pop back up. Anyway, says he was hit in the head, in his head and body. The murder was for the purpose of maintaining an increasing position in Faceworld, the indictment says. Harper is accused of pulling the trigger. The indictment doesn't mention it, but Chicago police investigators have suspected that Faceworld and Wooga World were in a war in 2020 that led to the mass shooting outside a Southside funeral home. The gang feud likely cause of mass shooting at Southside Funeral Home, sources say. The feud exploded into violence on July 13, 2020, when 21-year-old Faceworld member Tremoli Pace was fatally shot in the 8,000 block of South Stewart Avenue, police sources said. The next day, Donnie Weathersby, a 31-year-old Wooker World member, was killed in a drive-by shooting in the 7400 block of the Southside Stewart Avenue. At that time, sources said they believe Weathersby was killed in retaliation of Pace's slaying. Now, on July the 21st, 2020, 15 people were wounded in a shootout near Rhodes Funeral Home in the 1000 block of West 79th Street, where a service for Weathersby was being held. So, and this is Weathersby, Donnie Weathersby here, yeah. They were holding the funeral for. And before the service, the Chicago Police Department warned officers about the possibility of violence at a funeral home because of the ongoing conflict. Squad cars were parked nearby. It doesn't appear that the arrests have been made in the funeral shooting or in the killings of Harris and Pace and Weathersby, according to the police court records. The December 5th indictment against Harper and McClure follows a pattern. In recent years, the feds have used powerful racketeering statutes to try to destroy small but violent gang crews. 6 hobo gang members were found guilty of racketeering conspiracy. Currently reputed members and associates of O Block, a Black Disciples gang faction based near 64th and Martin Luther King Drive, on trial on federal racketeering charges. They're suspected of the brazen killing of the rapper Carlton Weekly, whose stage name was FBG Duck, outside a luxury business strip in the Gold Coast neighborhood on August 4, 2020. FBG Duck's ex-girlfriend says defendant sent her 3 laughing emojis after allegedly summons the rapper's killers. Sources say Faceworld was created in honor of a 15-year-old Cornell Kingface Henderson, a Chicago vocational career academy freshman who was shot to death at Marquette Park in 2010. Although he's not a defendant in a recent Faceworld indictment, Wardlow, one of the reputed members of the gang, is charged in federal court with participating in a violent crime spree on April 30th, 2021. He originally was charged in Cook County Criminal Court, but the case has been dropped. According to the FBI, Wardlow carjacked a Jeep Grand Cherokee outside a restaurant in the 8300 block of South Pulaski Avenue while a man and his wife walked towards the car. Wardlow took the man's keys and wallet and demanded that the identification number for the credit card, pointing a gun and saying, "You better be sure, I'll blow your head off," the FBI said. The Jeep was later used in a drive-by shooting that seriously wounded a person in the 300 block of West 75th Street and in a robbery of a woman in the 400 block of East 103rd Street, according to the FBI, which suspects that Wardlow also was involved in the carjacking of a Mercedes SUV. 2 days after the Jeep was carjacked, police recovered it on the south side. Inside, they found an ATM receipt for the credit card stolen in the carjacking. Wardlow's fingerprints were on the receipt, according to FBI. Left a little DNA behind, huh? Yeah, so that's been an update on the FBG Duck case so far. Now I don't know if they holding court today, Friday, but if so, Chicago Sun-Times should be coming out with a report, and we're gonna follow up on it. Again, Fly High Productions for Mr. Follow Up. Salute.